Okay, sometimes our quadratic equation is not in vertex form. It's in standard form. You see how everything is on one side? ax squared plus bx plus c. Well, it's still pretty easy to determine if it opens up or down. And that's just looking at the x squared coefficient. Is it positive or is it negative? It's easy to find the x-intercepts. We either do it by factoring, square root property, complete the square, and then use the square root property, or the quadratic formula. It's very easy to find the y-intercepts because we just let x equal 0, do a little math. And then we have the axis of symmetry, and that after we graph it, we'll just be able to draw a line down through the middle. What's a little bit different here is how do we find the vertex? How do we find the vertex? Well, to find x, we let x equal negative b over 2a. b is whatever's going to be with the x, negative b over 2 times a. We will get a number for x, plug it in, and find our y. That's how we get the vertex if it is in standard form and not vertex form. Okay, so we are ready to graph this quadratic equation. I know that it's going to be a parabola because I see the x squared. So let's begin by finding the vertex. Remember, the vertex is going to equal negative b over 2a. So x is going to equal negative, what is b? Yes, it is 6. It's the coefficient of the x there, over 2a. And what is a in this case? It is just 1. Negative 6 over 2 is negative 3. I have found the x of the vertex, but I also need the y. Remember, the vertex is a point. So I need to plug in negative 3 wherever I see x here to find my y. So my y is going to equal negative 3. Make sure you put that in parentheses. People make mistakes here. It's negative 3 squared plus 6 times a negative 3 plus 8. Okay, what is negative 3 squared? Yes, it is 9 minus 18 plus 8. 9 minus 18, that's a negative 9. Negative 9 plus 8 is a negative 1. I have found my vertex. Okay, now do you think this parabola opens up or down? Well, the number, the coefficient with the x squared is positive, so it is going to open up. Now I need to find my x-intercepts. How do I find x-intercepts? I let y equal 0. Okay, so if y is equal to 0, let me plug that in, and look what we have here. Yes, it is a quadratic equation. And how are you going to solve this? Actually, this one is pretty easy to solve by factoring. So I will draw my 2 parentheses. X times x will give me x squared. To get 8, do you want to use 8 times 1 or 4 times 2? 4 times 2 will work because I want a 6 in the middle, and I do want it to be positive. Now this times this is equal to 0, so my common sense tells me that the first one is going to equal 0, which means x would actually have to be a negative 4 there. Or x plus 2 is going to equal 0, which means x would actually be a negative 2. So my x-intercepts, I have 2 of them. Negative 4 and negative 2. This is not an ordered pair. That's why I'm not putting it in parentheses. I have these squiggly lines, this solution set. So negative 4, negative 2 are my x-intercepts. So I can write it in here. If I want to write it as an ordered pair, I have to write the x as -4 when y is 0, and x was -2 when y was 0. Now we need to find our y-intercepts. Okay, to find my y-intercept, I just let the x equal 0. So wherever I see x, I plug in 0. So I have 0 squared plus 6 times 0 plus 8. And all that's going to be just 0 plus 8. So y is going to equal 8. Okay, so now let's fill in our y-intercept. So remember the y-intercept was 8. What is that point? Well, x is 0 and y is 8. And I will do the axis of symmetry in just a moment. So let's start graphing this. And if we got something wrong, our graph is going to tell on us. Okay, so the vertex is -3, -1. So I'm going to go left 3, down 1. I know that it opens up. My x-intercepts, -4, 0, and -2, 0. It says it crosses the y-intercept at 8, so that would be right up there. And now I can draw my parabola. And I need my axis of symmetry. Remember, it is a line. So you have to write x is equal to, and it cuts right through here at -3. But I knew it was going to cut through at the x. X is equal to -3. So this is a line going right through x is equal to -3. Now, if I would like to find another point, I could. I could pick any x I want to. So if I wanted to pick x is -7, that would be about right here. I know that my point should be somewhere up here, right? So if x is -7, let's plug it in. Y is going to equal -7 squared. Make sure you put that -7 in parentheses. Okay, so when I plugged in -7 squared plus 6 times -7 plus 8, -7 squared is 49. 6 times -7 is a -42 plus 8. 49 minus 42, that is going to be 7 plus 8, which is 15. So when I plugged in -7, I got positive 15. Does that point look like it would be on our graph? Well, -7 is right here, and 15, yeah, it looks like I am going the right direction. But remember, I could pick any extra points to check with if I wanted to.